What's up guys, it's Andros, and this is my tips and tricks for Scavengers. What's up guys, in this video we're going to go over tips and tricks about in-game things like characters and what to do, what not to do, what things do what. Some things that I found out along the way of playing and some things that I've been asked questions of. We're not going to be going over the research table, I'll do that in my next video explaining the research table, the components, the materials, what they all do. In this video, at the start, I'm going to go over things that beginners may not know, and I'll leave a timestamp on screen and in the description for people to skip to in the video, maybe about the character that they didn't know, or after the beginner section that I'm setting up. The first thing that I'm going to go over is the heads-up display and the UI, because I've been asked a lot of what the things on the screen mean, because there's quite a bit when you start playing Scavengers. So the first thing we're going to talk about is all the things on screen. So the first element of the heads-up display that we're going to look at here is the stamina bar. So while sprinting, sliding, or jumping, your stamina obviously depletes. But throughout the game, your maximum stamina starts to deteriorate. The only way to keep up your maximum stamina is to eat food that's either found or you kill animals for it. The next element of the UI we're going to look at is the body heat, or your freezing bar. This bar can deplete over time when you're in a roaming storm or if you're outside of the circle. When your character gets too cold, you end up losing out on your maximum health. You'll notice that your health starts freezing over. The only way to bring it back up is to sit around a campfire or use a thermal boost. When you use a thermal boost or you sit around a campfire, your health won't go up right away. You're going to need to use something like a first aid kit, bandage, or a healing ability. Now, the next thing we're going to look at here is camps in the game. So those blue icons with either the ammunition, the backpack, the health symbol, or the food icon. So the first camp I'm going to look at here is the one with the ammo on it, bullets. When you go to these camps, you may think that they are not that important if you see that you're at full ammo, but from these camps, you can get weapons that are much higher quality than what you probably have off the start of the game. So usually your best course of action off the start is to, if there's one of these around you, find one of these ammo camps, go to it, and get a gun, because they drop guns out of them. The second camp we're going to look at is the backpack camp. These camps drop a lot of scrap, 425 at the time of recording this, and they drop grenades and they drop stim shots. Stim shots are helpful. You'll be able to pick those up and use those to make you run faster and reload faster for a whole minute, and different types of grenades can be helpful depending on the situation you're in. The next camp we're going to look at is the healing camp, or the cross. The healing camp drops things like thermal boosts or bandages or med kits. The last camp we're going to look at is the food camp. You use a food camp, they're usually a bush, and you forage them. You get 6 to 7 food, I'm pretty sure, from them, and sometimes there's animals around that you can kill to get more. Now, the last thing I would like to say about camps is every camp drops scrap except for the food camps, but the one that drops the most is the backpack, or the one that looks like armor. This next set of tips that I'm going to focus on have to do more with PvP. When you PvP in Scavengers and you get downed, or if you down somebody else and then you finish them, or you get finished, you drop exactly half of all of the data points that you have. If you get downed, one of your other teammates get downed, and you both get executed, but you have one up, you'll get revived in a minute. But if your third teammate dies, then all of your data points that you had get dropped to the team that killed you. As of this update on Thursday, May 6th, 2021, you drop half of your data points like you did before, but if your whole team gets downed, or if you eliminate an entire team, then they drop their guns as well, including their signature guns. It is absolutely worth it to PvP mid to late game in Scavengers. It's more worth it to focus on the PvP aspect early game so that you can get levels and you can get scrap to get better armor and better weapons. When playing Scavengers solo queue, you want to remember to utilize your pings. If you don't ping, then your teammates have absolutely no idea what's going on. Say you're playing solo queue and the teammates you have are duo queue. If you're not at least communicating with ping, at most voice or text chat, then they have no idea what you're doing and you won't know what they're doing. If you try to communicate with them, they may try to communicate with you as well. So now that we're done with more of the beginner stuff, we're going to jump into things that people might not know about the character. So the first thing that I would like to mention before going through all these is that each character's ability has a secondary function, if you will. So first we have Halden. Halden's ability is used as a bubble that you can heal in. It obviously doesn't block bullets because that's what Valora's ability does. But one thing that some people don't know about Halden's ability is that if you use it on a downed teammate, it revives them right away. Next up, we're going to look at Valora's ability. Valora's bubble is usually used to block bullets and to keep cover from in the middle of a fight. Well, one thing that some people don't know about Valora is that her bubble can be used as shelter while in a storm. I have a couple things here for Cruz. When you use Cruz's ability and you have teammates running behind you, everybody knows that they run at the same speed as Cruz. But something that people don't quite realize sometimes is while you're running behind Cruz, you're gaining stamina. You don't lose stamina while sprinting behind him. As well as there's this little trick you can do that my friend does here in this clip I'll show on screen. Where you can do a serpentine if your teammate is lagging behind a little bit, and it'll give them a chance to catch up to Cruz's ultimate. Something that people with Jay don't realize is when you're playing Jay and you pop your ability and run into a fight, sure, you have that over shield, but you only have 50 shield over top of purple. What you should be doing with Jay instead is waiting until all of your shields are gone and then popping your ability, because it brings your shields all the way back up to full plus 50. Something about Letty's ability that people don't realize is that if you use it on a Valora bubble, it'll break it instantly. But you gotta be careful, because if you use it on your teammate's bubble, it does the same thing. The next thing I'm gonna be talking about here is a good way to get a lot of scrap and fast levels off the start of a game. So a lot of people at the start of a match run as a 3-man toward all the lodestones, the shards, and the growths. But that's not the best way to level and get scrap. The best way to do it is to send one person to do lodestones, another person to do lodestones, and one person to go kill camps, the blue camps, and get scrap for everybody. If one person is soloing lodestones, another person is also soloing lodestones, and one person is getting scrap from camps, everybody is getting levels as fast as they can, and everybody is getting scrap as well, so that while everybody's doing these things, you can just constantly upgrade your armor and get your signature weapons and your wildcard weapons. Now, if you want to avoid getting shot at early game or mid game when you're just trying to level up and get your armor and guns ready, then there's a couple things you can do to avoid this. If you look at your map, you'll notice that as people are collecting data points from lodestones, shards, and growths, the numbers will go down. So if you open your map and look around you at all of the yellow camps, you'll see if somebody's there collecting it. Another way to tell late game if somebody is near you is if the narrator says someone engages a high value target, you look on the map and you see if there's any purple things around you. If there's any bosses or if there's an orbital drop, then be careful, because there could be somebody there. Another way to stay away from people is if you are in a roaming storm, you're not on radar. Nobody is. Also, if you're crouching, you're not on radar either. I think that's about it for the video. Next time, I'll be making a video entirely about the research table and all of the components and materials, so keep an eye out for that. I appreciate you for watching. If you stuck around to the end, leave a like, comment. Let me know if you have any tips that you feel I missed or that could help players that you've found. If you have any questions, you can ask me live on stream at twitch.tv/Andros. I'll have that in the description. Thank you for watching. I hope you found out something that you didn't know before. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.